Or where I come from, dance on the floor till you go numb. No fighting, no hating, no red rum. This is city. Fight to the bay, hit the base, feel me. Catch a case cause it's beating up your Chevy. Get you moving side to side, getting out sweating. Make you work it out. Turn the volume up loud. This a dry crowd, make it all shout. Go, crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Hit play on the track and I'm ready. Like a quarterback, Tom Brady. Get you all in the friends. Say, go, crazy. Go, crazy. Go, crazy. All the way from the O to LA. Go, crazy. Go,
yeah, loco, solo, the coach, and loco represents the ocho, immersing together, the devil when the choco. Either I leave him on the mat flat out, just keep it till he back out, but when they see him tap out, they go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. Go crazy. All the way from the old to
Billy Watt.
All right. We are ready to go crazy on this Tuesday show. We have got a really, really good one ready for you guys. So welcome to the Scoop Radio Show. I am your girl, Q Willis, and we are so hyped on this Tuesday. Y'all could have heard our little banter prior to the show. You will know that it is going to be a good one. We are ready to go. I hope this Tuesday finds you well. I want to go ahead and get some little business out of the way as far as how things go down here. If you are new, the Scoop Radio Show is an interactive show. We want to talk with you. This is not just 2 hours of you hearing us. We want to know your thoughts. So please comment. We ask that you follow the Scoop Radio Show titled Live. Kels, Wynn, and I are all sharing this post today. So you might be following one of our watch parties, or you may follow us independently. Please comment, like, share the post that is titled The Scoop Radio Show. That is the one that we can add your comments to our live so that those that are watching don't have to click into the comments. They can see them live and we can have a very good, smooth flow. Also, Winfred likes to bring us polls throughout our conversation. If the convo gets good, he's going to ask us some questions and we want to know your feedback. When that happens, you will see a question pop up on the screen. When that happens, go ahead and look in your comment section and you're going to notice that there's going to be a new icon that pops up. It's going to look like a circle and it's going to have 3 little bars in it that resemble like a bar chart, column, thing like that. Click that. You're then going to see the question, and then you'll have your options to choose to participate in the poll. Again, you will have to be following and interacting with the Scoop Radio Show live stream to be able to participate in the poll. There's method to the madness, y'all. Aside from that, we want you to sit back, relax, enjoy, hit that share button, and have a really, really good time. As you see, this here is a trio. There are 3 of us. So like I said, I am a Q Willis, and we've got my girl, Kels Johnson. How you doing, sis?
I'm doing good. It's part of the trio.
Yes.
The 3 of us is out here, y'all.
You having a good day?
Yes, I am. I am having a good day.
Good.
Get into it. Shout out to the live.
Yes. Y'all getting it going already. I love it. Let's keep that action. Keep that same energy. Where? How you doing, bro?
I am excited about tonight's show. We got some good music. We got good topics. Of course, we got good guests. So I'm with it. I'm with it. Yeah.
We get to talk to Miss Cicely one-on-one, longer, a little longer than usual. So I'm like extra geeked by that because we get to chit chat with our girl. So yeah, stay tuned for that, y'all. If y'all like the Firestarter, get ready because we're gonna get to chop it up with your girl on a really, really good topic. So yeah. All right, so that is it. I'm gonna hush now and let Wynn go ahead and get into the news. What you got?
First of all, before we get started, how you doing?
I'm good, guys. It's my anniversary today.
It's our anniversary. Okay.
Yeah. We are celebrating 15 years.
Anna, congratulations on the Willis family, 15 years. Never would have made it.
That was on the next one.
Y'all better go ahead and get it in. That's all right. Yes. Congratulations to you and to my brother, to James. So yeah, 15 years. That is dope. So I'm excited for y'all. Yeah. I don't care what nobody say. It's work getting to 15 years. Touch your neighbor and say it's work.
Neighbor.
So I'm excited for you. Happy for you. Yeah. So thank y'all, everybody who's tuning in. Of course, if you have not already hit that share button. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Let's go ahead and get into this news. So tonight, first up in the news, Beto. So we're gonna keep going talking about this presidential campaign. So Beto O'Rourke today announced that he wants to forgive all student loan debt for teachers. So Beto O'Rourke says all student loan debt for public school teachers should be forgiven. He says that at the National Education Association candidate forum, O'Rourke said teachers should focus on teaching and not have to worry about student loan debt repayment or working a second or third job. He believes the U.S. government should forgive 100% of the student loan debt for public school teachers. Kels, what you think?
First of all, I'm a public school teacher, so I was like, that's not gonna work for me.
Mm.
Though that would be a great gesture, because I think teachers should get paid more anyway. I think teachers should get paid what any celebrity would get paid. Why, why would you want the best for your future? So I'm always down for teachers making more money, but getting them out of debt, is that really going to help them really get back into the economy? Is that really going to help that flow? Because I was thinking, this is going to sound so bad. I was thinking they probably ain't paying their student loans anyway.
That's not bad. That's reality. That's the truth. That's the truth.
And y'all know I work in a business, but I mean, it's a low priority.
Mm-hmm.
It's a low priority. So I'm like, is that really going to help them that much? Probably not.
No.
Yeah. So you don't think it's going? Do you think that's going to get him? Because Beto is already not doing well. So he's already talking about in his campaign how he's thinking about dropping out because he's not doing well. So do you all think that this is going to help push him back into the race? Is this a sustainable plan? Is this something that because we already have what's it called, the AmeriCorps? AmeriCorps is definitely no, it's not.
I mean, this is the third time somebody said they're going to, erase student loan debt. So everybody can't keep pulling the same trick out the head. We're going to be like, oh. Right. I mean, come on, man.
He pulled the same trick and then minimized it.
Yeah.
Everyone is saying your debt, but then he then minimalized. Like, why are you segmenting when this affects so many people? Because to Kel's point, that is true not only for teachers. Lots of people have promised to pays on student loan debt. You know what I mean? So the wiping out of the debt is literally, in a lot of ways, more of a mental relief than an actual real financial relief in the pocketbook for a lot of people, because feeding yourself is going to trump the degree that you may or may not already have every day, all day. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it sounds good and good. And even in the discussions that we're having surrounding student loans, it sounds good. But I think it's going to be most effective for future college or school, people who go to school and take out this debt. But for us right now, this is just going to give more mental health relief than anything, to know, okay, phew, I do not have to worry about this now hindering me from future things that I want to do, because student loan debt stops you. Not only does it make you feel crazy because it's there, it stops you from doing other stuff, because that then hits your credit and all that other stuff. So having that gone can then open up a whole new world of things for people to do right now, take action on right now. But no, I love the teachers. Lord knows I do. But this needs to be bigger. I don't see this going in a good direction for him in this campaign when everyone's going bigger with the same thing.
So
wrong direction, bro. Wrong direction.
So you think Bernie's? So because when we talked about Bernie's, I remember a lot of people saying that they didn't think it was going to be possible. He's saying get rid of all 1.6 trillion for everybody, all student loan. Then Elizabeth Warren is saying anybody who has household income under 100,000 eliminated, and then incrementally, but if you make between 150 and 250, incrementally they will eliminate a part of yours, and then if you're over 250, you pay your own. Yeah. So hers is a little smaller, and now this. When we were talking about Bernie's and Elizabeth, it's not possible to do this, so we think they just talking. Are we now saying that with Beto, his is too small, so we're not going to pay attention to it? Or do we think he's only doing this because he's trying? I think he's part of it. He's only doing this because he thinks this is something that he could actually get past and people will pay for.
Right. But he never gave a payment plan on how he was going to pay for it in this proposal.
Okay. True.
Bernie gave a specific plan and how much it was going to be a taxation on the top 5%, who are the wealthiest in the world. Right.
Elizabeth did the same thing. Yep.
The people would be mad, but that's 5% of people versus 95. When are we going to wake up? The wealthiest 5%, 95% of everybody else. Like, come on. So yeah, I think to me, to keep minimizing it, it may be a strategy, but in my mind, as a lay person, I'm just thinking it's the same trick. You're just trying to put your spin on it. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking in that deep of it compared to everybody else.
Okay.
To the average person.
Say hello, so you can go. Go. Say hi.
Hey, Trey.
Trey.
Hi. Watch my dad's show. Watch my dad's radio show.
Watch my dad's radio show.
Okay. Good night. All right. I'm in the middle of my show, sir. Thank you. First he does it with now he does it anyway.
That's funny.
All right. Next in the news. Justice for Elijah. So I don't know if you all saw this. Because I'm just seeing this yesterday, actually. On the 4th of July, a white man killed a black 17-year-old named Elijah Al-Amin by slitting his throat. He said he felt threatened by the rap music Al-Amin was playing. So, yeah. So Michael Adams, 27-year-old, was this 27-year-old alleged killer, heard the music and later told the police that it made him feel unsafe. And so he said instead of being proactive, he decided to be proactive better than reacting. So it shows surveillance footage shows Adams followed Al-Amin into the convenience store and lunged at him with a pocket knife, stabbing him in the back and slitting him in the throat. Al-Amin ran out of the store before collapsing under a gas station canopy, and he was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced deceased at 2:05 a.m. Wow. Now, they are saying, his lawyers, of course, are saying that this happened because he was recently released, like within 48 hours from prison, and he was not given access to mental health. So they're using the mental insanity plea. Q, what's your thoughts?
I'll tell you what's insane. And it ain't him. The fact that it is such a stark, the contrast in these situations is mind-boggling, but not really. That we continue to have, like, we are manipulating the real mental health issues that our country is facing, and we're using this still to cover one of the most hateful thing that is really plaguing our country right now. And we're allowing it. We're allowing it. There are still some people who are being jaded by the potential that he may have a mental health issue that caused him to be offended by someone else's music to the point where it was okay to walk into a gas station and slit the man's throat.
Yeah.
That's what's first. In addition to all of the other things that we have discussed ad nauseum regarding how our men and women continue to be gunned down, knifed down, whatever is chosen to take us out at the moment. And then now we're adding another layer of something that's already vague and trying to be convinced to the people who have covered it up for so long as far as mental health is concerned. We're allowing one more layer of BS to cover the hatred. This is crazy. And I'm really needing somebody to say, really? Like someone other than us to say, really? Really? Someone who's really battling with mental health to say, nah, bruh, we ain't gonna let y'all ride out on this one. You know what I'm saying? Like someone needs to stand up and say, this is not your fight. You can't keep putting this on the stick, because that's gonna then stigmatize even more an issue that really does need attention. In addition to the fact that we keep dying in the streets. That's crazy. Y'all know.
Ain't nobody buying this mentally ill.
Nobody. Yeah.
Ain't nobody buying that. Even the ones who don't want to say nothing, they not buying it. Y'all, everybody know what it is. Anything a Black person does is threatening or scares them simply because we are Black. It is ridiculous. I mean, why do y'all even want anybody to know y'all that freaking weak? Y'all that helpless that everything we do
scares you.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Get your old. Let me stop.
Get in the car. Go home. Go right. If you were scared, you could. My thing, if you were scared, you could have went home. Like you didn't have to. You could have did. You had other options besides.
Yeah, but if you scared, how you scared and you walking up to somebody?
Exactly.
You scared, but you, you
how
went up
to
you.
Yep. Very different.
Yeah. He wasn't mentally ill. It'll come out years later that he was part of the the Arabian Nights. Sorry.
White people. Even like the charges, his rap sheet is not even one that would resemble, and not to say, and even then, while we're still figuring out what mental health does and the ramifications of it and all, but his rap sheet that resembles somebody who just likes getting into stuff and doing extra. You know what I'm saying? Assault. What was it? Assault. Aggravated assault, mischief, just doing dumb stuff, being random and doing dumb stuff where you need to be behind somebody's bars. So I'm like, you can't even help me understand. You can't even make a case for mental health on this situation. You just
assaulted before.
Yes.
But you scared. Get out of
here. Yeah. I want to know the details of those previous charges.
Right.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this one plays out. We'll keep watching that one because because this one should be a hate crime.
Yeah.
So let's see what we do. So all right.
I'm warm and fuzzy after that one. That got me rolling my eyes and stuff.
A little more lighter news. Jaden Smith, the son of Will and Jada Smith, first pop-up location of I Love You Restaurant, which is a vegan food truck that serves free food to homeless.
Yes.
The truck served the homeless community of the Skid Row region of Los Angeles for one day, and Smith aims to continue bringing vegan food to others in need. I Love You Restaurant is, hold on. Oh, Lord Jesus, come on. I Love You Restaurant is, hold on, is a movement that is all about, you pop up. It's all about giving people what they deserve, which is healthy vegan food for free, says Smith. Today we launched our first one-day food truck in downtown LA. Keep a lookout because this is the first of many. So let's talk about that. Yeah, Jaden, you did that.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Oh, I mean, this is awesome. The fact that first of all, the fact that he's part of the younger generation and thinking about other people on this level, this scale is tremendous. So, I mean, big ups to Jaden. We know the Smith family has just, they're genuinely good people. Yep. And so it's not surprising at all. It's wonderful. And he said there's going to be more trucks. I mean, kudos to him. Like, somebody give this young man a humanitarian award. Like, the next BET Awards, I want y'all to have Jaden Smith up there. Like,
and he's just 21. They just celebrated that baby's birthday like 2 days ago. Barely an adult and making these kinds of changes. Yeah. You know what I thought when I saw this? We talk, the general public has dissected how Will and Jada have raised these kids since they were little bitty babies. Okay. We have picked apart their marriage, their lifestyle, how they talk to their kids, they involved in grown folks stuff, blah, blah, blah. Because Lord knows that Willow gets on my doggone nerves on Red Table on a lot of subjects. But she's also still a baby. Yeah. I'm looking at the fruit of these children and the fruit of what these two adults are doing, and the elevation that this family is taking is different, but damn it, it's working. You know what I'm saying? Because that Red Table is opening up conversations amongst us that we have never felt comfortable having, and are uncovering layers in ourselves, in our circles, in our families that we never even talked about. Will Smith is empowering Black men to love, to talk about feelings, to live their best lives out loud, on fire, unapologetically, and it's working. You know what I'm saying? So here comes Jaden, next in line, doing his thing, making his mark. So while Miss Willow works my nerves right now, I can't help but sit back and wait. You know what I'm saying? Because they're showing and proving that it can happen. They're making positive things happen. Like, I'm not mad at the Smiths right now. They are doing it. Yeah.
They are doing it.
I tell you what, though, every time she go, oh, really? Oh, yes.
I'm gonna say, look, girl. I'm gonna say, shh.
I think like, you could tell sometimes she bored, like she be doing this. You remember when you was young and you be twiddling thread and stuff under the table, stuff like that. I'm like, just take a couple of episodes off, baby. It's okay.
Yes.
You're not really into it.
Let the women talk.
Take off. Just take off. Don't even go. Don't go to the Red Table that day.
I agree. Completely agree.
Last one. We gotta go. Last one. This isn't so good news. Listen, I'm gonna say that. Look, all I know is, listen, we can't lose. Stevie Wonder is having kidney surgery in September.
Prayer warriors.
Right.
Stevie says, right. So what happened is I'm gonna have surgery. I'm gonna have a kidney transplant in September of this year. He said, I'm all good. He said, I'm all good. I have a donor. It's all good. I want you to know I came here to give you my love, and thanks for your love. You ain't got to hear no rumors about nothing. I told you, I'm all good. Listen, whether you like incense, whether you, whatever y'all got to do, y'all better pray Stevie through this.
Call on the prayer warriors.
The prayer war, we about to call a fast. I even go vegan for a day or two.
How old is Stevie? How old is Stevie Wonder?
Not old enough to be leaving though.
Oh, Stevie is probably old enough to be let me sit down.
Stevie is staying. They done got Luther. They done got Prince. They done got Michael.
They had a good full life. Now we're gonna pray.
Whitney. They done got Whitney.
Yeah, Whitney was young. Stevie's not young.
I don't care. We can't lose. We're gonna be left with Jacquees or whatever his name is. We are not losing Stevie. We can't lose.
Please. Say, get your burn your sage, get your blessed oil.
I'm gonna need y'all to we all praying for Steve.
Whatever kind of extra prayer trick you got.
Jacquees.
All he got is Jacquees. If we lose Stevie,
that is not what he said.
I went right for that.
Is his name Jacquees or whatever? What's
that's it.
Yeah, off-key king of R&B. He is horrible, but
he ain't horrible. He just ain't the king. I tell you that.
But if Stevie goes, you might let Stevie go. Stevie got to be about 86. I think Stevie got 86. How old is Stevie Wonder? I got to Google it.
Listen,
you ain't wrong, but we ain't wrong either.
I mean, you don't need to go. Look, I told people to pull out whatever prayer tricks you got. Like whatever you was holding on to, you know the trick that'll get you through. We need the one who get a prayer through.
Yeah.
Brother Steve. He what?
69.
Oh, okay.
He ain't that old. Yeah, he can hang around a little while. Y'all pray hard. We ain't through with Stevie yet. he ain't ready as yet.
We got a few more songs, you know. Has Stevie written anything new?
He doesn't need to. I mean,
no, he doesn't. But I was just wondering. I contemplating.
Smokey Robinson 79. Stevie is 69. Wait,
Smokey Robinson. The booger with the sugar is 79.
And he's still out there trying to gyrate.
Yeah. Smokey still think he the booger with the sugar. I'm telling you. I know 79.
We keep it on.
We done went down that rabbit hole. Y'all pray for Stevie.
And us, because we ain't no good. Sit one up, put one in your back pocket for the Scoop Radio crew, please.
Lionel Richie is 70. Nothing after that. Who else? We got Tank. That's it. We got Tank, Jacquees. I don't want to hear Johnny Gill. I'm sorry. I can't. Kermit the Frog. I can't listen to Johnny Gill. We left with Bobby Brown.
You know Bobby Brown vocals got smoked up, but Johnny Gill.
Exactly.
Johnny Gill the same though.
He sounded
better. I just called to say I love you is me and my daddy song. Like that is a forever favorite for me. You are yes. That'll bring tears to my eyes every time. That's my song.
There we go. So all right, we all on the same. I'm glad we all on the same page. We keep on Stevie.
Keep Stevie lifted, y'all.
Yes, keep him lifted. We ain't ready to let this ribbon go in the sky. Not yet. we ain't ready.
Why is so funny?
We can't lose Stevie.
Because you had that man's obituary wrote. That's why it's funny.
We know it's the truth. All we got is Jacquees, whatever his name is.
Sweat still out there. Baby D, look. That is all we got.
I'm listening. Drew Hill trying to make a comeback.
Who?
Cisco. Drew Hill.
Commercial. Drew Hill.
I'm just saying. She's talking about that's not all we got. I'm saying.
Right. When was the last time we was
here like a bug?
I ain't hop skip with Cisco in a decade or more. I ain't finna do it. I'm too damn old to be hop skipping with Cisco.
I hope Cisco coming more in the thong. I hope Cisco coming with more than that.
Yeah, I'm about to tell me what. Tell me what.
112 is still around. Slim is still around.
Get in there too.
Slim can sing.
But y'all, we laying Stevie on the altar tonight.
We're not letting Stevie go. Sorry, you can't have him. Not yet. We're not ready to let him go. Sorry. All right. Anyway, let me start.
Save us with a song, bro. Save us with a song. Save us with a song.
We're gonna get to our first song. Our first song tonight. We debuted a new artist tonight. I'm excited about this. I've heard the song. I've heard this artist, and I think y'all gonna like this. It's something new. This is a new song called "Ride for You" by Dreamer. Sorry, y'all gonna like this song. Of course, y'all know we gonna dance. So y'all tell me what you think. Again, this first song tonight is called "Ride for You" by Dreamer. So tell me what you think. Pray for. We'll be right back after this with Hot Topic. Here we go.
What is the hot topic?
How y'all doing tonight? I need y'all to turn up for this one. Yeah, let's get it. Yeah, hey. Now I'ma rock for you. Yeah, baby, I'ma rock for you. You know my love is true. You think it's in a busted cast for you and hold it down like a boss was supposed to do. Yeah, now I'ma rock for you. Yeah, baby, I'ma rock for you. You know my love is true. You think it's in a busted cast for you and hold it down like a boss was supposed to do. Yeah, these other too simple. They just mad cause I'm with it, sexy and thick with some dimples. That sit back and right and watch this thing jiggle. You pick the baddest one, got this out with extra girls. Yeah, it's me and you, baby, against the world. Since 2001, I've been your favorite girl. Straight from Spencer, rapping it hard, yeah, that's country girl. Keep it up right, I love your tongue when it's on my girl. Yeah, I had to switch it up a little. Got me all in my feelings, lovey-dovey with the giggles. Stepping down the line, gon' end up being critical. Cause when it comes to my, let's promise you don't want these issues. Now I'ma rock for you. Yeah, baby, I'ma rock for you. You know my love is true. You think a busted cast for you and hold it down like a boss. So hold down, let me ride for you. Yeah, now I'ma rock for you. Yeah, baby, I'ma rock for you. You know my love is true. You think a busted cast for you and hold it down like a boss. So hold down, let me ride for you. Taking up a bet to let y'all know what's cracking, cuz I fell in love with the Cali who baby blood. Together we a tropical storm, call it flash flood. I haters can keep their job, we stay on top. Never low, always in love. I get too sometimes we clap, this ain't no puppy love. I'm staying strapped in that ring with that boxing blood. And there's no limits to this shit, ain't nothing breaking us. If y'all feeling me, now put them up. Make them rise up. Yeah, I go hard for my cause Aquarius my December. The coldest winter ever. 6'2", tapped it up, damn he's so clever. Every time we hit the bedroom, I know the office pleasure. Yeah, I finally found my treasure. Down the ride to get back your vision, blood pressure. Very thankful God put us together. My life is so much better than having love fight forever. Hey, now I'ma rock for you. Yeah, baby, I'ma rock for you. You know my love is true. You think it's in a busted cast for you and hold it down like a boss. So hold down, let me ride for you. Yeah, now I'ma rock for you. Yeah, baby, I'ma rock for you. You know my love is true. You think it's in a busted cast for you and hold it down like a boss. So hold down, let me ride for you. Now let me ride for you. Now let me ride for you.
Hey.
Okay. Work over there a little bit. Rock for You by Dreamer, that brought us on right on in to the hot topic. Y'all can ride with Kels, but the hot topic right quick.
I like it.
The hot topic is always brought to you by Curvy Kitten Clothing. Curvy Kitten is more than a clothing line. It's a movement to realize that loving all of our curves, no matter what size, is the foundation for loving each other. So we do have a sale going on right now for 10% off. Use the coupon code capital K, NEW. So the hot topic for today. There was a post made by one of the scoopers, and it says, when a woman says, I don't need a man, is she being honest or speaking from pain and disappointment? And this is from, it was a quote from Michael Baston, his morning show. So we've discussed this before. We discussed it on Facebook. It's not a new conversation, but I think this is in a different kind of a different light.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna start with Win because you're the only guy.
Yep.
How did you respond? I know you responded on the post, but
Yeah. So on the post, I said so. On the post, my response was I responded to Q's post. So hold on, can we do this real quick? First of all, let me say this. So this is Dreamer, the person who we've just played. You are very welcome. Your song is dope. We're gonna continue to
very
support.
dope. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Keep up the work.
Send us more.
Right.
So
y'all go follow Dreamer. Y'all, we just posted her comment. Follow, buy her music.
Y'all follow her.
Put your links in the comments.
Yes, or go to my page, go to the Scoop Radio Show page. I'm gonna put the song there as well. So y'all download it. Y'all support this sister because that song is dope.
Yep.
Yes, very good, very good. Okay. So on the post, I responded to Q's post response too. So Q made the response on there that that this was a more of a response to women feeling empowered to, and I'm sorry if I'm saying your words wrong, empowered to not have to have a man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. And so my response to that was, I think it's both. I think that people are responding out of pain and out of the fact that they're feeling liberated, that they don't have to be, that they don't have, their self-worth is no longer defined by having a man. Mm-hmm. So I think it's both of them. I think there's a group who legitimately are angry and in pain and don't no longer feel the need to have a man because they don't like it. They don't like men. They hate men. They feel like all of their experiences with men have been bad. So it's like, in order to avoid feeling this pain, I just don't need a man, which makes sense. That makes perfect sense. If you've been being hit a lot, then just stop hitting. You know what I mean? It's like stop whatever is causing pain. I don't need that. But also a group of people who like you said, realize, you know, because you all, not men, we don't necessarily grow up with the idea that a part of your value or a part of your worth is defined by you being chose and being somebody's wife. We don't grow up with that. A lot of women do. So now that is being pushed back against and being whatever, then no, y'all don't have to. Y'all are fighting that. I'm on the radio.
So, they must be new here.
No. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's what it really boils down to. There's a group saying, no, we don't need this. There's a group saying that we don't have to have this. My hope is that the latter group that's saying that feels empowered, that they don't have to have one, doesn't hate men, or that this doesn't become a hateful thing. It's just, you know, because to me, sometimes when we get empowered, that also turns, we swing to the other pendulum. And I hope that's what I hope does not happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you kind of talked about Q's comment. I was kind of saving her for it because I felt like she was gonna say more, because she was like, "I'll be right back."
Yeah.
But I did want to read Michael Baisden. I thought was interesting, and he says, "You'll never hear a man say, 'I don't need a woman.' Why is that? But women will say they don't need a man in a heartbeat. I don't believe that's true. I think they're speaking from pain and disappointment. No, you don't need a bum, but a good man will change the way you see life and enhance it. That's my opinion." And that's from Michael Baisden himself.
So I'm gonna tell you that I have heard men say they don't need women. I've heard that. I'm hearing men say that now. It scares me just as much as women who say they don't need men. I think a lot of it is, when people say that, again, it comes from two things. Number one, they don't feel like, as a man, you feel like the things, you don't understand the true value of the other person, which is, I think, the root of what Michael Basin is trying to say. You don't understand that the right person will level you up, will upgrade you, will help you with blind spots. But because we see a woman as somebody who we can sleep with, somebody who gonna cook for us, somebody who can clean for us, and then they always nagging us, so I don't need that. We can remove them. Or when we see a man as somebody who's supposed to help pay my bills, but now he don't pay my bills, I can pay my own bills. I don't need, then we start to think, well, I don't need this person. Go ahead, Q. I'm gonna shut up now. You look like you got a lot to say.
The thoughts that I came up with were more so after you expounded on what Michael Baisden was saying, because my first thought at the quote was what I said. And for those of you guys who did not see the comment, what I basically said was that I don't think it's pain and disappointment that's rooted in us saying we no longer need a man. I think it's more from the point of we're empowered because we're now in positions where our livelihood and our success in life overall is no longer completely determined by what man has chosen us and the life that he has chosen for us. The fact that saying I don't need, because the word need implies a lot. Needs are food, water, the things that will keep you literally alive. And what we're realizing is that men and women alike can do life without long-term relationships, commitment, a partner. Okay, it's happening. Although I also feel that we need companionship. We need to be around each other. We need humanity to be able to be well-rounded people. The idea of a romantic relationship is not for everyone. So when a woman says, I don't need a man to do XYZ thing, it's always interesting to me how offended men get at that as a collective when one woman says that's not what she needs. And then the response to that is, oh, you just ain't had the right man to make you see that men are what you need. Like, that's kind of how it sounds. Although I know it can be rooted more along what Wynn just said. When it's said in a way that is supposed to be the answer to all that ails you is to just find that right man to fix it, that doesn't really help the plight. For women who are finding satisfaction in things that are not rooted in men. So it's just interesting to hear that as a further explanation of why he made that initial comment. I was like, okay.
And from the initial post, I was like, whatever. Like, it's really not. It's really not. It doesn't have to be as deep as we make it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be from lack of having good relationship. I do understand that, but it doesn't always come from pain and disappointment. I wanted to read a quote from my live before I get into mine. So Ms. Clark, sometimes that may be the space you're in temporarily due to a bad experience.
Yeah.
I can say that I have been there. I now reflect and keep it moving. In reality, men are needed, but just good men. So when I remember in a conversation before, probably a year ago or more, saying I didn't really understand why men would get upset if you say you don't need a man, because when you really think about it, we say we need each other to survive, but we're not magnets that's just going to automatically connect with somebody. I mean, we're not. We know people who don't get married. There's priests, there's nuns. So there's no. To me, I feel like it makes people feel bad because they don't have that.
Have it. Mm-hmm.
And I was saying it and arguing it. I was really just arguing the word of need. Like I need air and I need food and I need water. I wouldn't right now.
I'm gonna say I think the word need is appropriate in the appropriate context. So I think that you don't need. I don't think you need a man or a woman to survive. I don't think that. I do think that you need a man or the right partner in order to reach the full potential that you're supposed to reach in life. Because I think that relationships, those types of relationships, are the only space that we have that invites us to be fully exposed and have the type of relationship where we are committed ourselves to fully helping somebody, even like, to helping them become who they fully are. Even in just our regular friendships, no matter how deep or how good of a are, there are some spaces that we don't even get to expose and show people who we're just really close friends with, because they don't see us in certain things that only your spouse would. So that's why I think the word need in the appropriate context. No, you can live and live fine without ever being married. But in the context of your purpose, your destiny, finding out everything about you that you can work through. And there's a book, a quote in the book that says, and I know this is a biblical phrase, but in context, again, taking the context, that says that marriage is not supposed to make you happy. Marriage is supposed to make you holy. And what that's saying is marriage is supposed to expose all of the weak places in you, and then you're supposed to have a person to walk through you getting better in those weak places until you're complete.
Okay. See, and what's so no shame or not trying to misconstrue word.
Yeah.
But I mean, even because of your religious background, it still makes it like you do kind of it, or it is going to make your life better. It is. So I think, to me, that's the kind of stigma. There was an article I shared. I think yesterday or Sunday about the young lady who I think 30, and she committed suicide. She didn't wasn't married, didn't have all of that always hits home. And this whole I think the man I a very real argument that doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't have to be negative.
Yeah. I don't think it should be. I don't think that not having a mate doesn't mean that it should be negative or that there's anything wrong with you. I don't think that at all. I just think that to go into it saying, to deny the possibility of it is a problem for me. To say that I don't, to me, when a person says I don't need a man, or they reject even the idea of having that type of partnership, that's problematic for me. Not, because then you are saying that to me, what that says is that you aren't open to a certain level of vulnerability that require, to a certain level of accountability, to a certain level of, or it says, like the post, that either you have possibly been through so much pain or letdown that now you've just thought that this is not a possibility. So to me, that then says that there's a part of you that really wants it, but you just kind of gave up on it. And that's problematic for me as somebody who wants to see people. If a person doesn't want it, like legitimately just don't want it, like it's not something interests them, they're cool, fine. But to say that this is something you want, but you've given up on because you don't think you could have it, is different for me.
I follow that. I can follow that.
I think there was another. It's more of self than anything, because that I don't need a man is just as much as I don't need anybody to do for me as anything. She got it on her own, and that was I thought that was a good comment from JB coming from a man. To me, I just felt like that was refreshing, just to see a man say, "I'm not offended by that." Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah.
No, and I that's what I said. And I'm not trying to point the finger at you, because
Yeah, no. I understand that way. I'm just. I agree with you.
I mean, you've seen the arguments. Just from the couple of memes we had today. Now, granted, some of the memes that we discussed in the group are outlandish and not really extreme, but I don't think people take into the fact. Yes, social media has brought about this culture of memes, and gifts, things like that. But people still exaggerate things, just like a comedian, for the sake of comedy.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes when we're discussing things, like the narrative changes so much than probably what the poster even meant for it to be. Like I don't, because some of the things are so outdated. I don't think like there's a mass number of people that still believe a lot of outdated things. Like even with this whole conversation, there's a sexual preference of being asexual.
Mm-hmm.
If a person is asexual, they're saying they don't have any kind of ties to sex or don't really like sex or intimacy type stuff. This conversation is not going to mean anything to them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They literally are saying that they don't need anyone else, and that's just how they believe. They don't have an urge for it, So I just think the world has changed so much that I always have to come from that. But I do appreciate the conversation. Michael Bays needs to gives us something nice to talk about.
That's one of the beautiful things, the gifts and the curses of the algorithm. I guess it's the coding of it that makes it so you can only put so many words to make it still like a meme, because that's what people catch. That's what catches the attention. And when we go deeper to actually say what it is that we really mean, people scroll past that because that's too many words. No. So we then go down these crazy, controversial rabbit holes of what we think was being said and our interpretations, and which can be good in some instances. But I think, y'all know how I feel about the gift and curse of memes. But that's one of those things you have to take the good and the bad with that, because we can go extreme. We assume the worst often. It's one extreme to the other with these things. Yeah.
Words like it's too long.
Oh my God.
No, I do it. It's so crazy. I was like, how can I'm a writer, have to use time and enjoy using words, but if I see a long comment or a long post, I'd be like,
and that can be code everything you're wondering about.
Yeah.
It was too much.
Too much. Do you think? Go ahead. Go ahead and ask your question.
I was gonna say, so from a married woman's perspective, even though I know you've been married forever and a day, 15 years in, would you tell a single woman, not so much that they need a man, but would you tell them, and I know this is switching the question a little bit, that it is beneficial to have a husband, and same for a man to have a wife?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I absolutely believe that there are benefits to having a spouse. I do. But that also depends on your life path, what you want for your life. Because in a lot of the time, depending on your personality and where you're going, having someone else that you now feel obligated to allow input into your path, that might not be what you need for your life. So depending on where you are as a man or a woman and where you plan on ending up, a spouse could be a benefit for you. Other than that, I'm gonna say, get you some awesome, get you a well, get you a crew like mine, and you'll be all right. But I'm being honest, because I love love. Y'all know I love love. I love growth. I love finding somebody to walk through them tough times with you and, figuring things out. But I also know that is just as amazing as that love is, that can be equally destructive when not given and used the right way. You know what I mean? When you don't know what you're doing with that, that's how you get those pained, bitter, hurt folks, because you had some person that was ready and another person that wasn't, and they tried to make it and it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you get those things. I just knowing who you are, know you before you find your boo. Segue.
I think even with saying that, I think it's okay to look at it to be logical and to be, I don't know, open to whichever way you're feeling at that during that season. But to just remember, like you said, if you find yourself, but if you aren't ready, don't drag somebody else, into it and that kind of thing. I think if you know that you're the type of person that you said you can go either way, then don't be with somebody or don't talk to somebody that wants that.
Yep.
There's a other side to that too. I had another question, but I think I lost
it. That's a totally different topic, but you are totally. It's true.
Yeah.
Gloria says, she said it's a need, not a want. Okay. I mean, again, I've had that conversation hundreds of times, and I get that there's a difference. I do. I just think, like I said, I think that we have to put it in context. And like I said, if we're talking about air and water and food, then that's completely different. Let me give you a comment. John Meek says that that statement is simply unresolved pain and or disappointment. End of story. He says women who don't need a man are living it and not saying it. Saying it is a cry of pain. He also says get you a spouse for the tax breaks.
What?
He said get a spouse for the tax breaks.
Y'all, without a man, we just tired, bitter, weak women that just need a long couch and a good therapist, y'all. Lord, send me a man.
Right. Please send me a man, make all my pains go away. And then that's what I'm saying. Then you get desperate, you just want any old man to come.
Anybody will do.
From the big dragon. And then you get little pistol fire coming in here with his pants around his knees. Because you think you need a piece of a man. No. And I'm so glad that I did not think that way.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't even met anybody yet who could so-called rescue me. Like, from the type of stuff, the people, see, that's a whole nother soap.
Right.
You can't even deal with my stuff, bro. Like, you can't even deal with it. So how you gonna rescue me? Let me stop.
It takes more than being present to have a presence in a person's life. And I think that's something that a lot of folks miss. Men and women alike miss. You need more than being present to have a presence in somebody's life, like real talk. Because those kinds of comments make me laugh and then make me cry at the same time. I'm like,
yeah, and we gonna end on that note because we are at our time. I'm sure we'll have another extensive conversation about this again one day. This has been Hot Topic. It's your girls, Kel, sponsored by Kirby Kitten Clothing. And we do have another song. This is called, did you hit me with the gospel? It's some new music too.
We didn't get to play this for last week, so yeah.
So this to cool us down from Hot Topic. This is Everyday Praise by Walter Ray. This is new music, y'all.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I will exalt you, Lord. Praise your holy name forevermore. Every single day, with mercy and your grace, you deserve praise. Mama, they told me that you were the only, there's no other worthy. She said you're mighty, glorious splendor of your majesty. All will see everyday praise.
Early morning sunrise, eyes open, new day. I'm thankful for the grace of God and about the true way you live and forgiven. This is not about religion. Every ounce of the glory goes to God. This shit says call me. he saw me, stuck like we all be. Living life funky, but he was now salty. So the devil took it off. It's too much work to do. All the hurt and pain and everything that we done been doing, man, you was praised. Every day I heard you say, keep your focus on the king and ain't no better way to praise you daily. Glad that he saved me, fearfully and wonderfully, and that's how he made me. Drank a little milk, took me to the book. Left the devil shook him in the kitchen what you cook. And the hook says, every time precious what we gotta kill. I'm all in for the cash from the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. You're so mighty, you are the one and only. Nothing compares to you. I love you, I really adore you. This is Miami. Every single day, I acknowledge you in all my ways. Not a day goes by, I open my eyes, that I don't realize I am yours and you are mine. This is the day, this is the day that the Lord has made, that the Lord has made.
All right, it's always funny to watch watch facial expressions as we anyway, so
you couldn't have chosen two more facially expressive co-hosts than Kels and I. Like, you could not have done it.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, all right, so so we're doing something a little different right now. So for those of you we a lot of our viewers, a good percentage of our viewers are in the Oklahoma, Texas area, which means that there are a large population of people who are in the oil and gas area. And so recently, over the past couple of years, we started to see that some of these oil and gas companies are beginning to lay off people. So there is a government program that is called the Trade and Economic Transition Dislocated Workers. Let me try it again. Trade and Economic Transition Dislocated Worker Grant Program. And so one of their representatives, Ms. Felicia, is going to be joining us to talk about it and let us know, because this is a program that if you have been laid off, that they will help you transition into other work. So I'm gonna bring Felicia on and let her talk to us about this program, and then we'll get into that. So, Scoop Nation, welcome Miss Felicia. Hey, Felicia.
Hey.
All right. So, first of all, I thought I heard that feedback, so you're fine. Okay, so tell us, what is the Trade and Economic Transition Dislocated Worker Grant Program?
Thank you for finally getting that right. Hey. Okay, basically, this grant is a grant that the state of Oklahoma was granted for those that have been laid off in the oil and gas industry or the energy sector. So if you worked, whether you worked in the oil fields, you work at Devon, Chesapeake, and there was a layoff, and hey, you're tired of dealing with that and you want to go back to school, this grant is for you. If you want to do on-the-job training, hey, we have that as well. But if you decide you want to go and become a nurse because you're done with that, we will pay for that. So that's what this is about. Hey, you want to start a whole new career path? We got you.
So when you say y'all are pay for it, what you mean? What are y'all paying for exactly?
We will take care of tuition, books, any fees that come along with that. Any work-related attire that you have to have. If you decide that you're going to go from the oil field and just become a welder, anything that you need for your class, the mask or whatever they call that, welding materials, like we would take care of all of that. If you find yourself in a situation, a lot of the people that are laid off do go on to unemployment. But if you find that unemployment doesn't cover you, what you're receiving every week doesn't cover you, then hey, let us know. We can help with the utilities. We can help with the child care, housing, like whatever it is. It within reason, utilities and things like that. Now, if you just need to get, your air fixed in your truck or something like that, we can't help with that. But if you need, say for instance, your cell phone is off or your home phone, your utilities about to be cut off, we can take care of all of that. And we do that for at least 90 days, depending on your circumstances. But we want you to have the help that you need, the assistance that you need. So I say no question is a dumb question. No need is a small need. Just let us know, and we're here to help.
Is there a cap on that, Felicia? Is there a cap on the amount of help they can get per, program, or is it all considered, just one pot per person? Or
no, we have some people that have, only spent about $6,000 to go to CDL training, whereas we had other people that have gone to a university and have $16,000 that they've spent. So it just depends on. It must be a demand occupation that you go back to school for. So whatever that cost is for that, if you can get it done by September 2020, which is when the grant is supposed to expire, preferably it doesn't, you can get it done by then, we can take care of the cost.
Okay. So how does a person sign up for this program?
There are a few ways. The first way would be to visit your local workforce center. Let them know that you've been laid off, not fired, laid off, and that you're interested in the program. You heard about it. You could also email us. We have an email box, economic transition, DWG, at oesc.state.ok.us. Either one of those ways, you can get in touch with us and we can qualify you and see what we can do to help you.
So I have a question. I work in this industry, and my company has been affected in ways.
Get in touch with us, and we can qualify you and see what we can do to help you.
Oh wow! Okay, I have feedback. Sorry. So I know that in a lot of situations there are severance packages that are offered to people. Does the severance, does the person having severance affect what things you all take care of, or for how long, or does that not weigh in on how a person gets help from your organization?
That does not weigh in as far as you going to school.
That's good.
No, that's your money. Yeah, so we can help regardless of severance.
That's beautiful. This is a good thing. I've known people. I've been thankfully, y'all, Lord, thankfully, I've made it through the transitions that my own company has gone through, and I am still employed. But I still know I've known people that have been really solid people who have been laid off, in just the nature of this business. So, and it's not just my company. This is literally for eons. This is how this business. This industry has run. And in our economy right now, if you're not in a position to roll with the ups and downs of this industry, programs like yours are invaluable to some people who are in this industry. So just hearing about this is amazing. And I know more people need to hear about this. So thank you for coming on to the show, because this.
You're welcome. Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that this gets extended after 2020, because we need it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Can you, Felicia, can you speak to how many families you've helped so far? Do you have
okay, so there are 4 of us career consultants that actually help with this. And I'd say between the 4 of us, gosh, since it's fairly new, we just got the grant in October, so I'm going to say guesstimate around 50.
Okay.
Probably maybe more, but I'm going to say around 50. I'm pretty sure it's probably more than that, because I know I've done, between 50, 60 families have already been helped.
Yeah.
And that's not even counting what's on my desk right now. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
We just want the word to get out and people to know about it. And hey, spend this money. It's $8 million. Let's spend it.
Yeah.
Let's help some people.
what so when a person, first of all, when a person contacts you, what do they need to have prepared? Like, what do they need to bring to this call, to this, first meeting or interaction or whatever? What do they need to have prepared?
Well, the first initial assessment is finding out where they were laid off. If they have a layoff letter, that is amazing. We love that. If not, just some people don't even know what their employer's names was. We need you to know who you worked for. We also just there's not a whole lot. Just maybe have an idea about what you want to go into. That's always easy. And if you don't have an idea about it, we do have a career assessment that we put them through. So not really much is needed. Just come, be honest, and like I said, if you have a layoff letter, that's amazing. We love that.
So I know one question that I would want to know is, so if, say, for example, I go through this process and I say I want to be a nurse and I flunk out of school, do I got to give y'all money back?
If you flunk out?
Yeah, like say I don't pass class, or is there any way that I'm going to have to pay y'all this money back if like something happens?
Okay, so it just depends. The circumstances are going to be different from each person. You just drop out and decide you're just going to quit after we paid.
Probably.
Yeah, you're gonna need to run that back.
Yeah.
I said I was gonna come over here and be professional now.
Sorry.
That's what we needed. That was real. That's what we needed.
Yeah. But if you find yourself, if you're flunking because of something going on in your life, then it's important that you stay in contact with us so that we can help you with that. If you're flunking because you can't go to class because you don't have childcare, let us know. If you find that you're having just trouble in the class, let us know. We may be able to get you some sort of remedial class somewhere else at another, maybe at one of the smaller colleges, to kind of help you along. You just have to just communicate with us. And if we can avoid all of you flunking, we definitely want to do that, so that you don't have to pay it back. But I mean, it just depends on the circumstances. It honestly does. I mean, if you really, really going through something, then yeah, we're not going to charge you up about it.
Okay.
Can they switch what they want to do? Like, say a person started going to welding school and that wasn't for them, so now they want to go to a university. Can they?
No. No. Okay. You need to be solid on what you want to do.
Okay.
Because we want to spend the money, we want to help people. We don't want to waste it. Because if you go and you do that and you said that halfway through and these people have already been paid, then no, you need to know what you want to do.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I mean, because even though it's taxpayer money, even though it's a grant, it's still taxpayer money. So.
Yep. Exactly.
It makes sense. Okay. What other information do we need to know, or the people need to know? And then can you please give us your contact information, or give your office contact information, so if they have questions where people can reach out?
You need to know that we are here for you. So whatever it is that you need help with, don't hesitate. Even if you think it's something silly, something small, we're here to help you. As long as you've been laid off and not discharged. You cannot have been discharged. You can't be fighting with Willie, by the oil wells and doing all the cussing and all that, whatever it is that got you discharged. You can't do that. But as long as you've been laid off, we can help you with just about anything. Even if you are a felon, we can help you. That's not something that disqualifies you. Nice. We also have the federal bonding program that will protect you. And a lot of employers, will be more apt to take you on if they know that they have that coverage and that you have it. So both of you can be bonded, and then that covers you if something gets broken, something gets stolen, or whatever. We're just here. Like, whatever it is we can do, let's do it. Like I said, it's $8 million. Let's do it. And you know what? Even if there's someone that's underemployed, like you want to move up, but you haven't had the means to do it. Maybe you're entry level and you've been stuck there 5 years and you want to move up. Contact us. We can help you. You may just need that associate's degree or the bachelor's degree to push you over, and we can take care of that as well.
That's dope.
Oh, wow.
Very dope. That's a whole other level, girl.
Right.
That's a whole nother level. You can still have your job and get the help. Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
Is there a phone number?
That's very neat.
Now you got to be underemployed. You can't be at the working 40 hours a week. You got to be underemployed, and you got to be able to prove that.
Especially right now, are doing a lot of contract work, and they are doing part-time, modified schedules, things like that. And people, assume because you work for this supposed big name company that's making all these imaginary, dollars that people see when we're watching the little ticker at the bottom, that doesn't always equate to the people. Just because your badge swipes there doesn't mean, you on the same level as everybody else. So that's still very good. That's very cool.
It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So was there a phone number people can call?
Sure. No, just teasing. There's like I said, there's 4 of us. We would prefer you utilize the email so that it's divvied out evenly. But if there's just absolutely a phone number that's needed, I can give out my desk phone number. And it is 405-962-4653. Just for any questions, anything like that. Now, you may not get the privilege to work with me, but
Email address again?
and the other ladies can help you. Huh?
What's the email address again?
Economic Transition, DWG@oesc.state.ok.us.
Wait a minute. Economic Transition, DWG@oesc.
Really? You gonna do me like that? I did all the talking. Economic Transition, DWG@oesc.state.ok.us. It's a mouthful. I know. You got me double check. Okay. Yeah. I had to double check myself. I'm like, make sure that's right. It's a mouthful, but hey, you can reach us. We'll get you taken care of.
Nice.
Cool. All right. Thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you for having me.
Please take advantage of this program if this is something you need. This is not one of the instances where it is not beneficial to be prideful. If you have questions that you didn't hear tonight, y'all.
Y'all contact Felicia.
Yeah. But hey, I got a second. Make sure that you go to the Trade and Economic Transition Facebook page. We're there as well. So all the information is there too.
Nice.
I forgot about that. I don't want to leave that out. We definitely have that. So they can message us through that as well.
Yeah, that's a good resource, the Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So did we lose him altogether?
He'll be back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
There we go.
There we go. See?
What happened to you, man?
All that typing.
I know.
Hey.
Click, click.
Look, all of our emails are that long. So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Mary Fallon must have did that. All right.
I love being employed. I don't know.
You don't say nothing. Let me say it.
I love being employed.
Oh, that's right. All right. So, y'all, again, this is not the time to be proud. This is the time to go and ask questions. So if you need something, please call Felicia, call her team. Y'all let's get this money. Let's level up, y'all. Let's do what we got to do. Thank you. We appreciate you for coming on. And again, I will post this information again to the Scoop Radio Show page for those who need it, as well as to my Facebook page, and I will tag Kels and Q's, so y'all take advantage, please, of this Economic Transition Dislocated Worker Grant Program.
He got it right. Look at you, man.
Good job.
Y'all need to get y'all some initials. Anyway, all right, Felicia, thank you for coming on. Have a good night. All right. Have a good night. Jesus Lord.
They would pick the longest name ever.
I have a comment that appreciates the information that Mr. Irwin gave.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too. I appreciate it. I definitely when I heard about that, I thought that was something we definitely needed because ain't nobody trying to be at the door. Yeah.
And it's rough. The level of life that they have is totally different, after that. Because the ebbs and flows of that industry is one that's a trip. It is one I was not ready for.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. I'm stalling right now because I'm trying to pull up the next song. I'm sick.
You messed up my Bye Felicia moment.
Sorry. My bad.
Been waiting to say Bye Felicia all night.
Let me bring her back on so you can see her.
It ain't gonna be right.
Yeah, it's the moment is gone now.
The moment is past.
My bad. All right.
Would I be able to say Bye Felicia live?
My bad. Sorry. All right. This next song is new music as well. This one is called Contemplating. It's by J.K. and Caries. Y'all listen.
Murder today.
Hooked on Phonics works for me. But Carez is what? Caries?
I'm gonna say cares. Cares.
Yeah.
Just keep it simple. Let's say cares.
J.K. and Cares. That's like a church choir name though, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, I think it's Carez. I don't know. Anyway, Contemplating. So y'all comment, tell us what you think of the song. After this, we're gonna get into our topic, finding you before you find your boo. So hold on, we'll be right back after this. This is new music again called Contemplating. Tell us what you think. You listen to this. Scoop.
Contemplating about the situation. I ain't trying to be your man. You ain't trying to be no side piece. Contemplating about the situation. I ain't trying to be your man. You ain't trying to be no side piece. It's hand with me trying to be no side piece. Ain't trying to be your man. Let's just be real. You was the one that put them in my business. We agreed to never catch no feelings. I put that on my mama. I wasn't looking for no drama, but you did it anyway, and expecting me to stay. Look what you did. You should've never crossed the line of being more than just friends. Look what you did. Now I'm contemplating about the situation. I ain't trying to be your man. You ain't trying to be no side piece. So now I'm contemplating about the situation. I ain't trying to be your man. You ain't trying to be no side piece. You know what it was, but yet you still fell in love. Tell me, what am I supposed to do? Should I leave my girl and be with you? You had my back against the wall. Girl, you know you did it. We know just what it was, but yet we still got feelings. Yeah, I'm trapped. Caught up in this love affair. I just can't get I'm stuck. Trying to figure out if I should keep this girl around. Cause one thing I know, yes, one thing for sure, I love you so why, yeah.
I ain't trying to be your man. You ain't trying to be no. You ain't gotta stick around contemplating about the situation. I ain't trying to be your man. You ain't trying to be no side piece. Yeah.
Was that too much, sis?
You went too far. If I could, y'all faces at the same time.
Okay, so contemplating. My JK and Karis took us all the way back to our early 2000s.
Like, I'm sorry.
Y'all just need to know Kel's love for Chris Brown is long and deep. Okay, it is real.
It's so real.
He just got us together real quick in 2 words about Breezy.
I said to me, he kind of sounded like Chris Brown a little. Kel got mad, like
Watch
I done called him outside of his name or something.
It was immediate. I was just,
She was gonna fight me for saying he kind of sounded like Chris Brown. I'm sorry.
y'all gonna have me fussed at by Cicely. Let's stop. Okay. So.
But we're gonna start with she's not here yet, but we'll start without her.
Okay.
Whew.
That was good. So I like that song. We'll have to play that one again.
Remind me, don't say he remind me of Chris Brown.
Yeah, whatever you do.
Never say that again. I'm sorry.
He got to be at Stevie levels for Kels to agree.
If y'all don't know, y'all keep Stevie lifted, okay? We taking Stevie to the king.
Lay them all on the altar. Dreadlock, piano, dashikis and all.
I'm gonna say that long robe thing he be wearing.
That's what I say. Dashikis laid out.
The beads. Lay the beads on the altar too. The beads here too.
We going with gasoline thongs on, y'all. It's a wrap for us. It's all right.
Not me, Lord. My halo's still on a little bit. My halo is hanging down.
Oh God.
Oh my Jesus. Oh my cheeks.
Yeah, my cheeks hurt too.
All right. So this segment is brought to you by Elegance by Design, where healthy hair and skin is our priority, but a beautiful you is our specialty. You can purchase your all-natural hair and skincare products at elegancebydesign.com. That is elegancebydesign with a Z.com. All right, so tonight we are going to be chatting about finding you before finding your boo. Okay. Earlier tonight, we even chatted. I think we low-key segued into tonight's conversation with our hot topic, discussing readiness and willingness and the wanting of being with someone else and the need of finding out where you are in that space before you decide to be with someone else and how important that is. Y'all know I've been on this whole accountability kick and compatibility kick here recently, as far as just all types of relationships, whether they be romantic or platonic. So I am all for this topic. So my first thoughts on this are, I think this is very, very important. We need to get out of the social stigma that attachment is the goal And understanding of self should be the goal first. Because how are you going to expect somebody else to understand you on the level that you're going to expect if you don't understand you on that level? So that's very important. And I definitely say that after being married 15 years, the some of the things that I've had that we've learned together, I think we would have done a better service to our relationship had we had known those things prior to being with each other. And I think and I think he would agree. And most folks who have been in long-term relationships, especially starting young, would agree with that same sentiment. There is something to be said for self-discovery. Kels, what do you think about that?
Yeah, it's very important.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even just being transparent with myself, and I'm one of those people. I'm kind of on the fence. You know, some seasons I think I want a relationship, and some seasons I honestly don't, or I don't think I have time. I don't think I really am ready or in a good place for one. And a lot of that boils down to me really knowing me. Like, I still don't think I really know myself all the way. Like, hitting 40, I tell y'all 40.
Yeah.
Else, I feel like I'm learning a whole new person. And the good thing about it is it has been a blast. It has been
like the person.
It has been a month, and I feel like I'm dating myself, like, for real.
That's so awesome.
And so when Winfrey came up with this topic, we hadn't even thought about it. We hadn't talked about it, but it did kind of hit home for me. I was like, you know what? That may be why things don't work out, because I really don't know who I am all the way. You know, it doesn't necessarily be a bad thing. I think everything happens for a reason. But just being in a positive space and getting to know me has helped me be in a more positive space. So even aside from just the romantic side of things, like, people, we have to wake up and realize, especially in our culture, we're the coolest people on earth, but we the ones who wear most masks. We have to wear any mask just to be in our skin and be Black. We have to wear a mask. And when you take that mask off and realize that you need to learn yourself. So yeah, I totally agree. That you have to find you before you find your boo. Now, if you looked up and was able to find a boo, and both of y'all found each other together.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would even say, even for those people, you know,
it's still rough. Yeah.
I think it's probably even more rough because you're trying to figure out not only you, but you're trying to figure out the other person. And at the same time, you're trying to figure out, like, so Kels, imagine how you feel right now trying to figure you out, realizing you don't know know yourself, but then at the same time having the same epiphany about somebody, the other person, and then you also got kids, and then you also got a job, and then you also got family members who you then find out stuff about them in that process. Because once you find out about you find out, you understand why they act a certain way, and then it changed the way you relate to them. And now all of a sudden, mama, who you thought was this smart person, now all of a sudden you think, wait a minute, was she really crazy? Or wait a minute. Like, it's all of the, you know what I mean? Like, it's tough. It is, and I would think that even in finding yourself, that it eliminates that, but it eliminates probably half of it, because at least you're able to say, I'm okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, as you find yourself, I think the end result is, I'm good. Like, I'm not perfect. I have some stuff I need to work on, but I'm good. Like you're finding out, like, I like me. I don't like pretending. I don't like this. I don't like that. I'm good just being me.
Yeah. Having that level of identity, I think, provides a level of protection over your relationship that you don't have while you're figuring it out. And I say that speaking from rooter to the tutor experience. And one of the and y'all know I try and be as transparent as I can about my experience, especially since we joke about it as often as we do. But you know, I don't sugarcoat the fact that we grew up together and our relationship has had ups and downs that happen when you grow up together. And I think people, when we talk about finding out who you are, sometimes it gets put in this hippie, you know, cloudy, rosy, you know, bubble of, oh, you're going off and discovering yourself. That's not always it. When you are young or are inexperienced in a thing, and then you are put in a space with people who do know who they are, your insecurity of not knowing will then make you malleable to become whoever you're around in that moment to survive. And that then those actions you take absolutely affect the environment of your relationship in that mode. That doesn't mean that's how your relationship is going to end up, but the actions you take while you're figuring it out absolutely stay after you've grown out of that phase of your life. So when you know who you are, that whole I'm good protects the things that could then add pressure and problems to your relationships, because you're like, no, I'm good. I don't need that. Whereas before you'd be like, oh, I'll try it. And then you trying it has put things on your relationship that you have to deal with after you've grown through that. Not all relationships make it through that figure it out stage. So, and really good relationships that could have made it, you know what I mean, had just given a different time. You hear those people say, oh, in a different time and space, we could have been, you know, I think that's a lot of these situations.
And a lot of it, I think a lot of it, like you said, comes in because you don't know yourself. A lot of times when you don't know yourself, the other part is you try to project who you want to be onto another person.
Yes.
So then when you find out that either that's not who they really are, or that something that they do kind of messes with, like, so for example, if you don't know who you are, a lot of your confidence, a lot of your security comes from that other person. And so when that other person, as we use the word, switches up on you, then all of a sudden you like, wait a minute. Now I don't know who I am because of this, or because, you know, I lost my job, or because whatever. And so now what you had as a security or as a foundation is all of a sudden gone. And when that happens, now again, you don't know who you are. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to think. You don't know. Now all of a sudden you're sitting here wondering, like, wait a minute, that's my whole, you know, I've literally had conversations with people and they're like, I feel like my whole life was a lie.
Yeah.
Because you walked into this relationship not knowing who you were. And I'm one of the ones who you just talked about, Q. Like I can married at 23, 22, 23. No way in Hades I had a clue who I was at 22.
I was at 19. We were 19 and 22. So I know I'm right there with you. Yeah.
22 and 23. Then you hit that 30, then you hit 35 and you change again. And now I'm coming on 40 and I'm going to change again. And and it's like all of that stuff matters. So if you don't go into it knowing this is who I am, so you know, and I'm sure when she comes on, Cicely will talk about, you know, things like having a constitution or understanding who you are as a person, so that way even though situations might change or circumstances might change, you don't change because your morals and those things about you don't change. And speaking of which, she just jumped on, so I'm gonna add her real quick, and then we'll let her go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Firestarter, Miss Cicely Victoria. Come on in. Can you hear us?
Hey, you guys, can you see me? Hey!
We can see you.
I don't you can see me well. Wait, let me see. Let me find my light. Let me find my light. Hold on.
Help her, Lord.
I don't know if this might have to do with letting around.
Turn around.
You turn around.
Okay, hold on.
Your physical body. No. You put the light behind you.
Yeah, put the light in front
of you around so the light's behind you.
I know you're not playing. Listen.
So sis, what we're saying is, yeah, there you go.
I got you. I think I got you.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
But okay, it's still gonna have a glare, but we're gonna do the best we can.
Okay.
Is that good?
It's better.
It's better. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Man, please don't do that because you know I'm jumping through hoops to even be here. So don't do that. I'm missing the meeting. I'm on the clock. Okay, I'm to be here. So don't do that. You better put some respect on my name.
Well, we are thankful that you are with us, sis. But we're talking about, we did get the convo started, and we've been talking about how important it is to get to know yourself before you get into the relationship. Because we were talking about how it can protect your relationship, knowing who you are. Huh?
Yes. I was telling Winifred take his hand down because he's not gonna sit up here and act funny. Take it down. Take it down.
Oh, sister,
are you frozen? Oh, you're frozen. You're frozen. That's why.
I'm just saying, Eugenia somewhere around here.
I don't know why you're frozen. And Q, I don't even see you.
I'm on here, baby. We can hear you. Tell us. So go ahead and give us.
I just can't see you. I love to see your beautiful face. Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, baby, go for it. That's okay. That's okay. No worries.
So essentially, no worries. So I want to know, we're to the point now where we want to know what your thoughts are on this subject, on finding your you before you find your boo. So go on and give us that Cicely fire.
You know what? Real talk. Real talk. I let Win know, and I'm very transparent and I'm very authentic, as you all know. I have been like 72 hours, like around the clock, like running. And so I was really gonna feed off you all's like energy or what have normal passion talk flow. I do not have, but I have so much to say around it. So can you like lead me in a little bit with a question or with something so that I can bounce off? Yeah, that'll be wonderful.
I got you, boo. I got you. Okay.
Thank you, baby.
Tonight we pretty much talked about how knowing who you are will then offer a level of protection and understanding going into your relationship that you might not have if given the opportunity to learn or to do that together. So our question to you is, or my question to you is, what benefits have you identified in knowing who you are prior to starting the relationship as opposed to figuring it out as you go?
Yes. Okay, wonderful. So you all, okay, for those who are not familiar with me, I don't want to be like super hood. This is your girl, Cicely Victoria, owner and founder of Passion International. My business is to help train and equip people to find their voice of identity, stop people pleasing so they can grow in power, passion, and communicate. Y'all know who I am, the Firestarter. We're going to go for it. Okay. I'm all over the place because I've been all over the place. Okay. So listen, you need to, it's very important that you are familiar with yourself, because I wish I would have heard some of your comments prior to, because this might be reiteration. But a few things that I've learned in my journey and with people I've worked with, there is a measure of solidified identity that is needed in oneself in order to know a few things, in order to know be in the earth. And you should bring that into no matter if it's romantic, professional, familiar, otherwise. You should bring that into an atmosphere and a space to be able to communicate and not to get validated by another. Okay? Or not to get affirmed or approved of by another. So that's so very important for you to, I think the topic is know you before you find your boo or something like that.
Yep. That's it.
That's correct. Yes. So you should be coming into the relationship communicating something, not waiting for somebody to communicate something to you. Okay, so that's one major thing. Why? Because nobody should be able to alter what it is that you've established about yourself when you came in the door. So if that's not already established, if in other words, if you don't establish who you are, somebody's going to tell you.
Yes.
So it's
That's good.
important that you establish who you are so you're not being told who you are and you're basically in one way, shape, form, or another being asked or being commanded or being manipulated into metamorphing into someone you were never meant to be. So that's one main thing. Another thing is when you don't have that measure of strong identity on the inside of you, of ownership, then there is a strong tendency towards codependency in a relationship in which you cannot, I think this might have been referenced as I was coming in by when, in which you do not have any sense of um, purpose, or if you don't have any sense of being aside from the individual. I mean, you are totally dependent on them. You know, I can't eat, baby, all that. I can't sleep. That, okay, that codependent, toxic,
Yeah.
unhealthy,
Yep.
you know, type of temperament going on inside of you. Not good, not good, not good. So you never want to set yourself up for codependency because you don't have any other life outside of this individual.
Mhm.
And that's another thing. You need to establish a form of life for yourself. Because if you don't have a form of life for yourself or purpose that you have already been moving and grooving in prior to another individual, you all are just going to want to sit in front of each other and like twiddle your thumbs all day. I don't know. And like do googly eyes or whatever. And that, that ain't getting the job done. Okay. So like that's the honeymoon period. That's honeymoon stage. You can do that for a period. Right. But after that, there's like some building and some moving and some, you know, some type of transfiguration that needs to take place like in our lives. So those are some of the main like reasons or whatever for finding you. And you need to know what you offer, what you bring to the table. How can you be an asset in a relationship if you have not spent enough time with you to even know what you have to offer?
Yes.
So some people
Yeah.
who don't like to spend time with themselves, they don't know what their assets are. And so, and you better know what your assets are because certainly if you don't volunteer the information, I'm going to ask you.
So let me ask this question to you, and
Mhm.
for everyone. So in a culture where we have defined assets or what people bring to the table as typical money, positions, things like that. What are the real things or other things? I mean, I say that that a person should really be looking for or should be trying to find out about themselves before they really get into this relationship.
You know what? Honestly, I can't, and I'm trying to get out this light a little bit. Honestly, I'm trying. I can't speak for other people and what it is they value most, but I will say what I value most and what I believe other people should value more, and main things that I look for based on what I know about myself. See, this is why this is so powerful. So, based on what you know about you, you know who your ideal or most compatible or complementary, if you will, type of mate may be in their core. Okay. I'm not necessarily speaking personality, but in their foundation, in their core value, we have to have an alignment and agreement. So for me, I look for things being the individual who I am. I look for things in regard to your spiritual DNA. I look for things in regard to your emotional intelligence. I look for things in regards to your communication capacity. I look for things in regard to your mentality, your energy, if you will. When I say energy in coaching, what we say is energy is your capacity to perform. So that means this. We use terms like catabolic and anabolic. So how much of a positive, uplifting, building, anabolic type of individual are you? And that can be, I can discover that in having 5-minute conversation with you. Do you beat up on yourself? Are you sad and pitiful? Do you want people to feel sorry for you? Because these are the type of people I can't be around and I can't receive from. So that's another thing. Not only do you know what you're bringing to the table, but you also know your value and what you will or will not receive from. This is why it's important, because nobody is going to put any water, right, on my fire anytime soon. So that means if you cannot come to continue to ignite and stir the embers of this fire and be an inspirator to me as I am an inspirator to you or to others, then there is really nothing that we can talk about further. Because that is my message that I carry. What'd you say, baby?
I said, honey, that gave me a wiggle in my spirit. She said, if you can't get these embers going, honey, we can't talk. I love it. I love it. That's true. That's true.
Because the real honest truth is Cicely gets bored easily. And if you are boring, and if you cannot inspire, and if you are not creative, and if you're not applying effort, I mean, and I'm the type of woman that I'll kind of almost tell you like about yourself, but in a kind way, I have to let you know. Because I'm not a pretender.
Yeah.
Gave that up. So I got to let you know. And that's love. And that's, that's the best thing we can do for an individual. And I would expect them to do the same toward me, So that type of thing is so very important. And that's loving oneself. That's another thing. Self-love is so pivotal before you can give it to anyone else. There's some people who are wanting bulls who literally hate themselves. How can you have love to give?
Yep.
You're looking for a rescue. You're looking for the recovery team.
Uh-oh.
You're not looking for love to give or to receive, boo. Some people just trying to get out their misery. And that's a problem. You shouldn't be so miserable. I will never marry an unhappy single, ever. Because if they're unhappy as a single, they're going to be miserable in marriage. Why are you not contented? You need to be contented in yourself before you connect yourself to anyone else. It keeps you from being desperate, thirsty, nonsensical, irrelevant. So I can go on and on.
Then actually, I'm gonna stop you real quick because we got a question before we have to wrap up this segment from the live. So Sarah wants to know, at what point in the relationship does flexibility come in?
Flexibility. Be more specific.
I'm thinking she's saying if you can know who you are going into it, where's your wiggle room and getting to know a person and aligning with another person? Because we know that whole you have to two become one. Where is your flexibility? And Sarah, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But I'm assuming that's what you're saying. How do you mesh that?
Yeah, Sarah, I'm hoping that I'm interpreting this correctly. But I say your wiggle room can be on your negotiables. I tell people, including myself, you cannot wiggle on your non-negotiables. That's why they're called non-negotiables.
Right.
Your non-negotiables are your core values.
Yeah.
I am not giving up the core of myself for anyone. Yeah. So if we don't match in our core, we're just not a match, period.
Yeah. No harm, no foul. Yep.
Yeah. So if it's not something that touches the identity of me, that, our negotiables, we can grow in, we can compromise in, we can be flexible there. That's no issue. You know what I'm saying? You a night person, you a morning person. You know what I'm saying? Do we go to bed at the same time? All of that, you know what I'm saying? Do we take the garbage out of that? Whatever. You know, stuff that does not touch and change me from my inside. We can be flexible on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
And we
want
can
to
always grow
That's
and
good.
perfect in love, of course. Go
I
for it,
want to
Kels.
I want to ask a question. So if a person like we're talking about getting to know you before you find your boo, should you make a list of your negotiables and non-negotiables, or are you just saying that anything that you stand on is a negotiable, or should people have a clear
No. Yeah, no. I mean, ladies, come on now. And we've probably all been guilty of it and making this, crazy list and holding it like to a candle and saying like he got to meet every one of these like, points on my bullet list. Like, no, that's crazy, okay? But there's some things that should be to the core of you that you shouldn't be willing to give up for anyone.
Yeah.
So yes, there should be Kel's negotiables and non-negotiables, and you should know the distinction thereof. Your negotiable list should be longer than your non-negotiable list.
Yeah.
Your non-negotiable
Totally
list
agree.
should be few.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a
Yeah.
core thing. It's about your core. It's not about particulars. See, particulars you can grow beyond, but who I am, I cannot. So your non-negotiable should be few, and your negotiable should be many, and you can work around those. I hope that helped you, Sarah.
Yeah. That was good. That was real good, sis. Ooh, and we are at time. We are at 9:58, girl.
Oh my God! Oh, y'all! I'm live from DC. Listen, y'all gotta have me back on, okay? Because the time was cut short. You know I love you. This is your girl. We're gonna do this again, okay? So we can have more fun together. I love interview style stuff, y'all. I really do.
Yeah.
Gwen knows it. He just been trying to play hard to get. But anyway, this your girl. You've been a part of Passion Talk. We're just giving you practical tools for everyday living so you can press it to your personal power. Until next time, I want you to stay in purpose, stay in power, stay in passion, and stay on fire. I love you. Firestarter from Washington, D.C. See you next time. Bye.
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 Oh my goodness, Fire. I love her. She is so awesome. Energy from DC, boy. It's infectious.
Yeah, it's dope.
All right, Wing, hit us with these announcements because we're gonna have the music coming in a minute. The man pulling us off the stage.
The good part about this platform is we don't have to worry about that. But
beautiful. Good.
Yeah, there's no time limit. So all right. So of course you guys if you have not seen a couple of times we put this up earlier. If you are not going to let me back up. Let me tell you the bad news first. So for those who have not heard, excuse me, we've been talking about the Level Up conference that will be held in August. Actually, as of Sunday, I canceled the conference, and so I have canceled the conference and refunded the people who have paid. I've refunded their money. We're canceling due to low registration, and so we're going to regroup and do another one at another time. So I just want to let everybody know that was something that we actually did do, and yeah. So be on the lookout for what's coming up next. If you're not going to our conference, I would highly recommend that the following weekend you go to the Young Leaders Conference, which will be held in Atlanta. It is the premier conference for media, for ministry, and for marketing. It's held by Mark Moore. Last year, there were over 3,000 people there at this conference with every name that you need to know in music, in media, and ministry. Is going to be there. So he's hosting a sale right now, 50% off the price, $75. So go to YLC Young Leaders Conference website and register today. Let's see what else we got. Also, this Thursday, I am hosting a free webinar. I've been doing them every Thursday. And this Thursday, we're talking about ways to teach your children to save money. So it is free. I'm going to say this again. It is a free webinar that I'm hosting. this Thursday at noon. And if you cannot make it at noon, you have 24 hours to see it for free. If you don't sign up for free and you want to see it later, you're gonna have to pay for it. So I definitely want to make sure I tell you guys, sign up for it. All you gotta do is go to my Facebook page and you'll see the link. Or if you go to Eventbrite, you'll see Winfrey Burns II, and you can sign up for this class. What else we got? Sale. There's a sale. Curvy Kitten sale.
Curvy Kitten.
Get your Curvy Kitten clothing. Go to curvykittens.com. Use KK New and get 10% off. Get your Curvy Kitten. Again, KK New is what you need. Go to Curvy Kitten, and if you don't follow them on social media, do it. Again, curvykittens.com is the website. Get your Curvy Kitten. Get 10% off on your Curvy Kitten right now. If you are an artist, just like you heard, we played 3 brand new songs tonight. We want to play your music as well. So all you got to do is email us your song. Whatever genre you have, it is send it to us at globaldriveradio@gmail.com, and we are going to play you like we did tonight. So definitely, again, send it to us. You can see we're open to genres. We're fine with genres. So y'all, whatever the genre is, all I ask is that you make it the radio edited version.
Yes.
So, because Facebook trips if it's too many radio edited words. So radio edited versions only, please, and the artwork. All right. The Word on Wednesday is back tomorrow. So he did a teaching last week on suicide, what the Bible has to say about suicide. So he's going to continue that tomorrow at 7:00. So tune in on blogtalkradio.com or go to the webpage and you will be able to do that. What else? Last but definitely not least, if you want to advertise with us, it's not the last one. Actually, I got one more after this. If you want to advertise with us for your product, for your service, for your party, for your conference, for your artist, whatever it is, then you need to contact myself, and I will be more than glad to walk you through the different packages that we have where you could advertise with us. And last but definitely not least, make sure, especially since it's getting sunny outside and you're going to be wearing your feet out and all your other extremities out, that you go and get your Elegance by Designs hair and skincare products. Please, no ashy heels, no crusted toes.
No excuse.
Let's get our skin right. Plus, fellas, she has product for us that has male smells to it, and very masculine things too for the men, and very good smell goods for the ladies. So y'all, we can go ahead and all natural hair and skincare products at Elegance by Design. Again, Elegance by Design. That's what design is with a Z, and you can go and get your product today. I can promise you, if you use this product, you will not want to use anything else. So other than that, I appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight. This has been an awesome show full of information. Thank you, Felicia, for coming on and telling us about the Trade and Economic Transition Dislocated Worker Grant Program. Thank you to the Firestarter for coming on and giving us your wisdom. Thank you to our artists who sent us music. Kels Q, thank you. I appreciate you all. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, and especially those who posted questions. We love to engage. If you have not liked the Scoop Radio Show Facebook page, please go and do it today. It is the Scoop Radio Show. Go and like the Facebook page so that way you don't miss anything. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. Have a good rest of your week. We love you. We appreciate you. We want nothing but the best for you. And please know that the better you work yourself, better you can be for everybody else. And we want you to be the best version of you so you can make the best version of people who are around you. Y'all have a good night. We love you.
Pray for Stevie. Y'all make sure y'all pray for Stevie.
Yeah, pray for Stevie.
Pray for Stevie.
You could just give it, but you just bring it. Words like the heat. Just say you're with me. you believe that love is forever? And would you take this long view and hold it together? Baby, if this is goodbye, I'm on one last try. You just can't get through. Can't you see the tears in my eyes? 'Cause I'm not trying. I treat you right. This is good.
See y'all later. Good night.
Good night.